What's up, everybody? Brian here with Frugal Footprint. I'm so happy that the weather finally broke. It's the first week of May here in Minnesota. We have our garden beds behind me. Started working on those last year and I'll be finishing them up and we'll be planting this year. But in this video, I'm actually doing some landscaping. So right here behind me, we have all the neighbors' houses. This little fence, which is nice, but doesn't provide a whole lot of privacy here in our yard. So I went to Home Depot. They had arborvitae trees on sale, 35 bucks a pop. So I got a dozen of them. It smells like Christmas in here. I'm gonna be putting them just all along there. It's pretty awesome. It's a natural fence. You know, right now they're up to maybe my chest or so, but over time they get to about 20 feet tall. So I've heard, and that sounds pretty great because that's gonna be a really nice privacy fence. Plus we're planting trees, so that's always a good thing. So I'm just gonna get to it. You know, this was a whole lot easier at the store when I had a flatbed and could do them 6x6, but halfway there, just gonna keep on trucking. And there we have it, a dozen arborvitae. Gorgeous. So I'm not gonna plant these today. I wanna call go for one, that's what it is in Minnesota here, but you know, they check for the underground utilities, make sure I'm not gonna electrocute myself or destroy any sewer lines. I'm quite positive they all go out to the road out front, but I always wanna check before you start digging. So, I'm done for the day. I'll see you later. Hey, round number 2, we got 8 more plus a bunch of topsoil, cow manure compost, and a soaker hose. Finish it off with a few bags of mulch. Whew, we're gonna have ourselves a nice hedge. All right, it's a new day. We got the call from Go for One. We're all clear. There's nothing running under here, none of the utilities, just like I thought. So we are good to start digging in. I just went back to the store, got another 8 of these so we could go all the way along this 31-foot stretch that ends up being about 18.5 inches on center for the tree. These can get, 3 to 4 feet around when they're mature. But the thing is, I want a hedge today, and it's totally fine to plant them closer. They kind of just over time spread out to however much room you give them. So we're gonna do 18 on center. Even if they get to 3 feet around, there's gonna be some nice overlap in between. It'll be a nice solid hedge starting today. And then they end up getting to be 12, 13, maybe up to 20 feet tall, which is pretty cool. That's quite the privacy fence. We had these at a different property and the deer love them. And in the winter in Minnesota, it gets really cold and there's a lot of snow. So you actually have to wrap them in burlap every year. It's a bit of a task, but I think it's worth it. It's not so bad. So what I'm gonna do is pull them away from the fence just so we have some working room. Gonna dig a trench. We're gonna mix in some topsoil, some cow manure and compost, mix in some of the original soil as well, get it nice and aerated, really fertile soil. Then we're gonna plant them all in a long row, and then we'll be adding some mulch, and I got a soaker hose as well. But for now, I'm just gonna start digging in. Here we go. All right, it's a beautiful thing. 31-foot trench dug. Now, this is only maybe 2 inches deep, and we have a foot deep root ball, so I want to go even deeper than that, probably 18 inches, so kind of like an 18 by 18 by 31-foot trench. All right, pass number 2 done. It's maybe 6 to 8 inches deep now. Definitely gonna have to hit it again. Down in the end here, I came across some roots which are from this beautiful hemlock. So we might get a little competition on the last tree that's on this end. We'll see how it goes over time. Let's just keep on moving. All right, and there it is, 18 wide, somewhere between 12 and 18 deep. Now we're just gonna fill it back up. You know, all that snow shoveling all winter long kept me in shape. I could do this for days. So I'm gonna do a quick layer, a couple bags. This cow manure compost just on the bottom of the trench. And then I'm gonna put the trees in, then we'll use the rest of this and the topsoil and some of the original soil all around them. Easy peasy. All right, so next step, I'm just gonna take each tree out of its planter pot. Gonna break up the root ball a bit, just so that way the roots aren't curling in on themselves. They have somewhere to go outward. Plunk them down in the trench here. Here we go. 2 down, 18 to go. All right, all the root balls are broken up, have them in the ground. As you can see, they're not even close to even, so I'm just gonna go through, evenly space all of these trees, add in the rest of that cow manure compost, some topsoil, some mulch, get them watered, we'll be all set. And there it is, pretty sharp. Just gonna fill in the rest of the soil and we'll be good to go. Hey, what's up? So I'm back on a new day here. It was quitting time yesterday. I got the rest of the area cleaned up really well. And what I'm doing now is just going through all of this sod. It's a lot of really good topsoil, some worms. I'm just shaking it out. And then I'll be sprinkling it on top before we add the mulch. See that? We want that in the soil. It's gonna be really good for the trees. All right, we got this all cleaned up, all that topsoil shaken out and spread around the base of all of the trees. Next up, I'm gonna dump out all of this mulch, spread it around. It's gonna help retain moisture. Next up, I got this soaker hose. I'm just gonna weave it back and forth in between all of these trees, and then we'll be all set. And there we have it. Thanks for joining me on this journey installing this Emerald Green Arborvitae hedge. It's been a bit of work. I checked the timestamps on the videos. All in, it was about 6 hours, and that's single-handedly working on this. If you count the trips to the store, couple trips up to Home Depot, add another hour or so. But I think it turned out great. I'm really happy with the way this looks. Now let's talk about how much did this cost. So each tree was 40 bucks, but bulk sale, if you get more than 10, you get 10% off, but we're in Minnesota, so you add another 7.5 sales tax back on it. You're looking at about $38.90 a piece. So total on the trees was $778. And then we had some miscellaneous items. We had 4 bags of topsoil, 4 bags of compost, 5 bags of mulch, and a soaker hose. And that all in was 61 bucks. So grand total on the whole project, $839. Now, sure, you could get away without a soaker hose. I did install a hedge like this at my last home, and I was out here every single day, all summer long. And, you know, it's just a matter of what is your time worth. And in this case, it's worth a whole lot more than that. Unless you like being out here and you turn it into a Zen practice. But now we're getting into philosophy, and this is a video about installing a hedge. So I will move on from that. So obviously this isn't maintenance free. We're gonna have to water it every single day for at least the first couple years. And then, you know, during the winter, we have to get some burlap. So that's gonna be probably another couple $100 plus some time wrapping the trees. So it's not without maintenance, but neither is a cedar privacy fence. I priced out a fence if we were to get like an 8-foot cedar privacy fence, and just materials alone are gonna come in somewhere around $1,500 to $2,000. Plus there's installation, plus you have to get a permit to put in a fence. You don't have to get a permit to put in a hedge. And Fences aren't maintenance free either. You have to stain it. If it falls over, actually the fence out front, our neighbor's fence, there's a huge windstorm and that just fell over. So it's a little less permanent. You know, every 10 years you might have to replace it. Now, the cool thing about these is in 10 years, they're gonna be almost twice that high, if not more, you know, 15, 16, maybe 20 foot tall. It's gonna be pretty cool. Another benefit of having a living privacy fence is that, you know, it's good for the environment. It produces oxygen, which is great for everybody involved. Plus it looks beautiful, you know, it's a really nice look. So be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And subscribe, because I'll be checking in on this for years to come, and you can watch the progress as our natural privacy fence grows. Thanks again for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video.